Lane Riggs on the inside. Gio Ruggiero on the outside. We are racing in Martinsville. It's playoff elimination night as they head into turn 1. Nice orderly start.
And a good turn 1 and 2 for Lane Riggs. You see him able to clear Gio Ruggiero and get himself a little bit of separation right there. That's exactly how you want to see that go if you start from the first spot.
See Caden Honeycutt on the inside of Tyler Ankrum.
And these guys all appear to be playing nice on this initial start so far, Jamie. You don't see anybody making a crazy 3-wide race. I assure you guys that's going to change as the night plays out. It's going to pick up the further on that we go into this race.
That's an important pass right there. Rajah Caruth just passed Tyler Ankrum, moved himself into the top 6. These two are really close in points. We know at least 2 trucks are going to get in at points. So these are the 2 that are fighting for or have the best chance of transferring on points against each other.
You notice the screen just got real bright. You see the pylon on the left, all the drivers highlighted in yellow. Those are playoff drivers. And yes, they did their job. They all qualified within the top 10. And you see Corey Heim in green. That means green means go on to the championship for next week in Phoenix.
Grant Hemfinger doing a nice job to find his way back down to the bottom right there. You don't want to get lined up on the trucks on the inside and get yourself stuck on the top. So good work by he and his spotter to get down there and not lose any spots through there.
Interesting, the story that Todd Bodine said about Grant Enfinger, and they found that issue mid-practice.
Yeah, and that's something we'll have to keep an eye on tonight. And it appears right now that Grant's not having trouble with that, but you want to make sure that it doesn't creep up at some point during the race.
Like what I see on Matt Craft right here. He's kind of carving his way back through. He had a great practice, was one of the fastest trucks in practice. Did not have a great qualifying run.
How much would it mean to him, Brad? His final year.
This is a 3-wide bomb here.
Can't tell if there was any contact. Oh, there's contact now. Around goes Andres Perez. Contact. Caution is out. Just 7 laps in here.
And that was pretty significant contact to the left front for Andres Perez. And I know he'll be disappointed. Had a pretty good day going up until this point, practice and qualifying. And that truck is not going to be the same after that contact.
Battle for 13th here, and you can see it coming with the 3-wide move that Connor Bozek started. They all just kind of come together here in 3 and 4. Perez is going to get the worst end of this.
We're under caution at Martinsville for the first time. Just 10 laps in here at Martinsville Speedway. We're under caution for contact between Matt Crafton and Andres Perez. They were battling for 13th at the time, and you see the damage on the front of the 44. Here's that incident again.
So Connor Bozak gets underneath both of these trucks, entering turn 3. As you can see, Matt really couldn't get any lower. And I don't know if Perez didn't know he was 3 wide or just was trying to squeeze it a little too tight, but he certainly gets the worst end of this.
I think it's just early on in the race in Martinsville. You know, it's a tough scenario to be in where you're 3 wide that early in the race, and to Brad's point, maybe Perez just didn't realize it, but you definitely don't want to run up the track and get out of the groove either. If you don't have to, you're trying to crowd that truck below you.
5th straight race this season. We've had a caution within the first 10 laps. They seem to figure it out later on, and that's what happened a week ago when Gio Ruggiero, 19 years old. You see the restart here in the 17 truck. He's got his teammate Corey Heim behind him, pushing him. He blocks Corey Heim, and he brings it home for the first time in his young career. Stands tall, gets that trophy, and this week looking a little different. He's got that win sticker on the driver's side door.
That's a good feeling. You know, he hasn't announced what he's doing for next year, but you have to think that winning this race last week at Talladega in the Truck Series buoys his chances and opportunities for seasons to come. So congrats to Gio, well earned. This is one of those top talents that's kind of positioning himself as we see some of these truck drivers graduate on up into the Cup Series and Xfinity Series to be the next guy next year.
Here we go, first restart of the night. Lane Riggs holding court. Gio Ruggiero, that youngster who just found victory lane on the outside. Last time they were nice and calm on the initial start. It was farther back in the field where we had the contact. Another great start for Lane Riggs.
So this is another key part in the race. We're going to see this race break into a rhythm one way or the other. Either we're going to have long green flag runs and these guys are going to settle out, or we're going to have a lot of crashes. This will dramatically affect the strategy for these crew chiefs later in the race, how this section plays out.
Good Ty Majeski in the 98. One of those drivers needed more out of his truck in practice, trying to take that spot away from Gio Ruggiero for second, but don't look now. Corey Heim is right behind him, breathing down his neck.
And I like what Ty had to say to us on the pace laps of the race, that he felt good about the speed in his truck. Maybe it didn't feel exactly like he wanted it to. But Brad, how many times have you been in a race car that maybe didn't feel good but was really fast and you found a way to make it work?
Yeah, you know, practice and racing are not the same thing, Regan. You know this very well, that sometimes a race car that doesn't feel the way you want it to feel and practice is really good in the race. You know, as the tires wear and different elements come into play, and vice versa. Sometimes you're just a rocket in practice, but you're not really adept for the track as it changes. So we'll have to see which one Ty has today.
And how much does this track change? How sensitive is it? Now that we know the sun is setting here, they practice and qualified in full sun, and it's supposed to get pretty chilly by the end of this race. We're going to be in the 40s.
Well, these concrete corners are built to not be temperamental, but they are extremely temperamental. You know, when they first put concrete on the track at Martinsville, it was to keep the track from coming up when it would get hot. And this concrete's a lot more durable. You don't see the track break down as bad as it used to decades past. The problem with that is the concrete cools off. It gets very cold. And, you know, these tires want a little bit of heat to work. As it gets cold and that temperature comes out of the concrete, it stops laying the rubber down, and it can change the way these trucks handle, for better or worse.
Lane Riggs right now with a 2.5 seconds over Gio Ruggiero. Ty Majeski settled in third, Corey Heim right behind him. All 8 playoff drivers still holding on to top 10. There's Matt Crafton, had that incident earlier.
Oh, contact again.
Crafton back in 17th now.
A lot of contact down this backstretch.
See Timmy Hill in the 56 on the outside. That's the 41 on the inside, Connor Jones.
And I'm not so certain that this contact with this group right here is not completely done yet.
No, I don't think it is.
Some guys a little bit frustrated with each other early on.
When I look at Martinsville, I look at gaps, and when there's a gap in front of you and not a gap behind you, you should be prepared for a lot of contact, because you are slow and in the way.
There's Caden Honeycutt in the 52. Caden's first full-time season, and it's been an interesting one. Started the year thinking he was full-time at Nice Motorsports. He ended up running more than half of the season. Then he signed a deal for next year that has not yet been announced. He was given this opportunity when Stuart Friesen was injured, and caution is out here for the second time this evening. There's some fluid on the racetrack, we're being told. And I did see Andres Perez, who had that damaged truck, was slow on the inside. It could be coming from that truck. Let's listen to Corey Heim's radio about this.
Oil down. There's oil in the truck.
We told them. They haven't done anything yet. Nice and easy here.
So Corey Heim obviously saw that.
And got to wonder, when we saw that checkup with Matt Kraft and Bailey Curry and some of those drivers back there, if maybe the fluid didn't have a factor in those trucks getting a little bit out of control.
21 laps into this one, 28 to go in stage number 1. Lane Riggs has led them all so far. Stay with us from Martinsville. Sunday on Fox, it's an NFC East rivalry as rookie Jackson Dart takes on Hurts, Barkley, and the Eagles, or McCaffrey and the Niners take on the Texans, or other regional action. Check local listings for the game in your area. That's Sunday only on Fox. Jackson Dart. He is fun to watch. What a rookie.
That whole team. Hey, what about Cam Scadaboo? I think I said that right. But wow, what an exciting team the Giants are to watch, and to watch when they get beat by the Broncos.
Good team to watch while my Detroit Lions are on a bye. So that'll be my
well,
that'll be my game.
the Colts are beating all of your teams. Okay?
Oh, we have a rivalry in the booth. Getting ready to go to our choose here.
And didn't see him put down any oil dry around the racetrack so far. I know there was reports of.
Oh, a lot of guys are hitting the choose box right here. Did you just see that? You saw Tyler Ankrum hit the choose box.
And that's normally a penalty, so
yes.
NASCAR will certainly take a look at that. I guess we're not choosing right now. For the whole field would be penalized.
Looked like they were choosing at first, and they waved it off there.
They waved it off. They'll choose next time around. So during this caution, we noticed Matt Mills was getting a little help on track. He was stalled, so something going on with his truck. Maybe that's the culprit here for, you see the hood up there on the 42. Maybe that was where the fluid was coming from. Meanwhile, let's get an update on Ty Majeski, Todd.
Yeah, Jamie, earlier today we heard in practice Ty talking about his truck. I hate my truck. It's pushing. It won't turn in a 40-acre field. Well, Ty just came on the radio, and guess what? He hates this truck. It's pushing. It won't turn in a 40-acre field. But guess what? He's running third.
So what does Joe Shear tell him? All right, good. You keep that pace, keep doing what you're doing.
Well, I think Joe Shear right now, you keep your driver as calm as you possibly can. You tell him we're going to work on it when we do get the pit stop. Even if we only get one chance, we will work on it. And you do everything you got to do to keep him focused on staying in the position that he is right now.
These two have that dynamic relationship, so much mutual respect and understanding. That man right there can give a truck to Ty Majeski before this thing is over. That will be turning.
Absolutely. He's one of the best crew chiefs in all the garage. So let's see what this night brings from. I like how he chose the outside on this restart. This will be interesting. Lane Riggs has had 2 or 3 great launches in a row, but he hasn't gone up against Ty Majeski on the front row yet. So this is a change of pace for him.
Yep, Gio Ruggiero behind the 34 now. So Lane Riggs, Ty Majeski this time. Something's wrong with Lane Riggs. Did he miss a shift? Meanwhile, we've got a new leader for the first time. Ty Majeski out front with Corey Heim right behind him.
Oh, that was huge. Not only does it take away from Lane Riggs, it puts Ty Majeski in the spot to win this stage over the next 21 laps. That's a ton of points that could help him transfer to the next round.
And had every appearance to it of being a missed shift. You see that he's up to speed there right now, and sometimes you just get a little bit quick with those gears when you're trying to go from 3rd to 4th, and it just doesn't quite get in there for you. So we'll have to see how much Lane can recover right now.
So Lane Riggs goes from 1st to 6th on that restart. There's Butterbean Queen in the 7 truck. Just locked up the ARCA Menard Series Championship as we take a look at the restart once again.
That should be where he's shifting from 2nd to 3rd. So it must have been a shift issue. We'll have to wait to hear back from the team to know fully, but that's a big mistake. And it moved that whole inside line back. Great view from Caden Honeycutt on his onboard. Oh, so fortunate to not have more damage than that.
And the big damage actually came to the trucks that were a little bit further behind Caden Honeycutt. I saw Rajah Caruth there get a lot of damage to the nose section and the tail section of that truck. You see right there Daniel Hemrick with a little bit of damage, significant damage to the back of his truck. So a lot of playoff contenders with damage out of that. Hopefully not enough to affect their night.
Yeah, Regan, this is the slowest track on the circuit, so aerodynamics not typically as important, but it still can make a factor. As we see, Lane is fighting hard to try to get those positions back.
Some damage on the back of the 34 for Lane Riggs. Nothing too substantial.
He needs those points back. This will transfer him to the 5th spot, but he really needs to get every point possible here. His playoffs are on the line.
What's that like, Brad? I know for me when I was driving, if I made a mistake, I'd go back out there and I'd almost try too hard to get too much of it back right away, knowing that it was on me, that I did something wrong. How do you handle that?
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to take a small mistake and make it an even bigger mistake. That's his challenge right now for Lane Riggs. There's a lot of this race left. He's probably not going to get back to win the stage, but he possibly can get a few more spots and recover from this. He does have one of the best trucks on the track, so a lot of opportunities still remaining for Lane Riggs to recover from that.
Lane Riggs in practice, he was so fast on the short run, obviously long run as well, best 10 lap and 15 lap average, got the pole. So now he works his way forward. Lane
Jamie,
Riggs
this is who I'm concerned about right here. Rajah Caruth, a lot of damage on that whole sequence, and he is fading fast.
See that damage, the front and the rear of that 71, back in 10th place.
And I know we mentioned that it's the slowest track on the circuit. The aerodynamics maybe not quite as much of a big deal here, but you see that hood buckled up, Brad. That's pretty significant damage when you get buckled up all the way back to the back of the hood like that. That's hard contact.
Nose is definitely pushed in. You see the brakes are already glowing on this truck. I'm sure it's not handling the same as what it was before. He is in full-on damage control right now as he's bleeding spots.
And this is the battle for 10th. Right now, Rajah's in a position to get 1 point right here. If he loses a spot right now in this battle, then to Ben Rhodes, then he'll get none.
And this might force his crew chief into reconsidering his strategy. We might need to pit here at the end of stage 1 and try to figure out a way to get track position.
And you see that playoff bubble there for the championship 4. Right now, Rajah 1 point out. He came into this race above the cut line, but to your point, Regan, he gets that one truck, passes him, he gets that extra point that puts Lane Riggs outside looking in.
And keep an eye on that playoff bubble, because I got a feeling as the night plays out, that's gonna shuffle around more than the balls in a lottery ticket thing. It's gonna be all over the place.
And a big benefactor in all this was Tyler Ankrum. Gained a few spots when that happened, gained a few points, added some cushion. As you can see, they run right now 15 to the good.
So this playoff bubble, the points as they run, if the race were to end right now, that is what the point situation would look like. As they cut and slice around Norm Benning. Benning goes around, contact. We saw him in that fiery crash a week ago. The caution is out.
What a save Norm had right there. He was all the way sideways, got it corrected, and didn't do a full spin. Norma, he still got it.
And that was a situation of the 99 of Ben Rhodes went to the outside. They ended up splitting Norm Benning down the front straightaway, and Brendan Queen was just trying to go to the inside and follow those guys through as Norm got split and looked like just came together.
Look at the damage. Daniel Hemrick.
Pushing water.
Pushing water, back in 14th right now. Things have gotten worse for one of our playoff drivers. Under caution once again for this incident. Norm Benning goes around. They check up all around him. And we welcome you back to Martinsville. When we stepped aside, we talked about Daniel Hemrick pushing water. You see him on pit road, a lot of damage to this race truck.
It sounds like, Regan, when they had that contact, when Lane Riggs, with his issue on that pass restart, might have broke the ductwork out of Daniel Hemrick's truck. Now it's not moving air through the radiator, engine's overheating. That's why you're seeing the water push out. Those hoses you just saw a second ago, those are used to fill the engine back full of water, because obviously it's lost some. And hopefully they've got the repairs they need to get him back in contention.
And the challenge for the rest of their night is now he's a lap down, making those repairs right there. So going to have to get a caution time just right for him, maybe a quick yellow right here to get the wave around. And now the goal is going to be get off strategy. How do we get off strategy, and how do we make up that track position and maybe try to find our way to the front, since it is a win and get in situation.
This is so unfortunate. You know, like Jamie said earlier, spring race winner, probably came in with really high hopes that they could repeat that win, and really didn't even get a fair shot at this race. The damage accident was so early in the race and not of his own fault.
Now they're on the outside looking in. Now on this restart, keep your eyes on Lane Riggs, the 34. He's reporting he couldn't get into third or fourth gear. Looks like he got off okay on this restart.
Oh, big move in the back there. It's like Rajah Caruth jumps 3 wide, trying to get some of those spots. There's only 4 laps left to go on the stage, and these are big points for him.
Great restart by Ty Majeski, who holds the lead over Corey Heim. Grant Enfinger hanging tight there in third. Tyler Ankrum, and then Lane Riggs, your top 5. Corey Heim taking a peek. He's won 19 stages this season alone. Can he make it 20 here?
And we haven't talked as much today about Corey Heim as maybe traditionally we have, but now that the window is open for the end of the stage, guess who finds his way to the front?
And that really swung the points right there. As you can see, Ty Majeski dropping from the lead to win the stage. Shifted everything. Now Rajah Caruth back in the plus side here. This is going to move so much through the night with 1 lap to go here on the stage.
Final lap of stage number 1. Talk about those points. Oh, so important.
Now Rajah Caruth, with that big move on the restart, got himself 2 positions. That's 2 pivotal points.
And there they see the green and white checkered flag. Corey Heim picks up stage win number 20 on the season. He gets those max points here. Ty Majeski, Grant Enfinger, Tyler Ankrum, Tanner Gray, 5th. Lane Riggs lost a spot there. Corey Heim dominated this race back in March, won both stages. Had contact, though, did not get the win. Can he do it tonight? Will it be Heim time again? We'll see. Plenty of racing still to go. But Grant Enfinger wasn't happy earlier with his truck, guys. On the outside looking in and a must win, and here he is 3rd.
Seems like we didn't talk about him at all, Jamie, and just you see that truck perfectly clean, has found his way to the front right there. That's exactly what he needs to do. If you're the rest of his competitors, don't even let him sniff the lead, right? You want to keep him back there and keep him behind you, and he's found a way.
So far tonight, Lane Riggs led 27 laps until his restart issue. Couldn't get it shifted into third or fourth gear. Ty Majeski led 20 laps. Corey Heim, the last 8 laps here.
That mistake, as we see pit road opening up, you're going to see different guys flip the stages here. So you got the 7 truck in, the 1 truck Brent Cruz, had some damage on the left side.
Half of the field, maybe more than half, has damage.
Jack Wood on pit road.
And as we look at the possible strategies tonight, this is one strategy that could play out. If you go ahead and pit right here, you can make it to the end of the race if you need to from this point right here. So any of the trucks that were maybe struggling just a little bit, they go ahead and hit pit road. But as you see right there, none of these guys that pitted were playoff drivers. And, you know, I think that kind of tells you where their minds are going to be at. Stage 2 will be where that pit stop will happen for the majority of our trucks that are up front.
Yeah, I'm surprised nobody took the gamble here, though, Regan. There's some guys that didn't really have a lot to lose. So I'm a bit surprised, but you know, still a lot of racing left to go.
See Daniel Hemrick, though. He's got that damage, must come down and continue work on that.
And talked about when we saw him on pit road needing to get that free pass, he was able to get that free pass. It worked out. Nobody else got lapped and back on the lead lap. So now you just try to button that truck up as good as you can and give your driver everything you can to tell him to go to battle with it. And you can tell by the look of it, it's not going to be perfect, Brad. Yes. It's going to be something he's going to have to make do with.
Amanda?
Yeah, and it's probably not going to be pretty either. And as you guys just said, he got that lead lap back. I was talking to Kevin Bellecourt. He hopes that they can stay on it right now. Radiator issues for Daniel Hemrick, and they are having temperature issues with him out on track. And Brad, you were saying that there's a lot of racing left in this race, and that's exactly what you know Daniel Hemrick is hoping. Kevin Bellecourt said, we are going to give it everything we can. We're going to keep on trying.
Daniel Hemrick last raced in the Truck Series back in 2016. This year decided to take this full-time ride. Got that win here in March. Are his championship hopes over? They're going to keep digging. Stay with us. Stage number 2 coming up. Welcome back to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, racing at Martinsville Speedway. What a gorgeous night. Very crisp. Should be down in the 40s by the end of this one. But Rajah Caruth is one driver we've been watching, guys. A lot of damage front and rear of this race truck. Back in 9th right now. Let's listen to his radio.
Do the best you can here, man. I know you're trying really hard. You're doing a great job. We'll get some tape on that nose, get rid of the parachute.
10-4. I'll just survive until then.
Take no prisoners. Be aggressive, smart.
Kevin Bonomania and his crew chief, little pep talk there for his young driver.
It's just what a driver like him needs as we head to this restart. Still a lot of racing left.
Corey Heim doing what he's done all year, just perfect on the restart.
And Rajah took
on
that.
the outside. Look at Rajah on the inside.
He took that advice. No prisoners. Very aggressive 3-wide move underneath Caden Honeycutt, trying to get those stage points.
Look at Lane Riggs in the 34. Big block by Tanner Gray, stopping the momentum from the 34.
Lane's going to try to the outside now as we get down into turn 1 and 2. Curious to see if he's able to get enough drive off the corner to stay side by side and possibly make this work. That could open up options as the race goes on these restarts for guys if they see it work for them.
Rajah closing that gap. Caden Honeycutt right behind him. Tyler Ankrum in the 18, guys, just minding his business, nice and quiet. We haven't talked about him a whole lot, just running fourth, doing what he needs to do in that 18 truck.
And Jamie, I think that was really the big winner from stage 1. When you look at the points and where things were stacked up, how they were stacked up, he did exactly what he needed to do. Again, another truck that looks to have minimal damage from, if any damage from that stacked up, just keeping his nose clean and running a smart race right now. That's what, if he can do that for one more stage, he'll have a little buffer going into stage 3.
Great battle here. Lane Riggs was able to clear himself from the outside lane against Tanner Gray. That just shows how much speed is in that race truck. If he can make moves like that, he's got the opportunity to drive up to the front, win this race.
See all the drivers highlighted in yellow and in green. 7 of our 8 playoff drivers in the top 8. Meanwhile, Daniel Hemrick had to come down pit road again for more damage assessment. He is a lap down once again.
Guys seem to have gotten calmed down just a little bit for the moment right here and maybe just feeling out their trucks a little bit. Brad, they're now on 50+ laps on their tires and you know, this is kind of the stage on tires for most of these front runners where you wonder, is there going to be fall off? What's going to take place as these tires get more and more laps on them?
Absolutely, Regan. You know, we practiced during the middle of the day. The sun was out. That concrete was warm. It took rubber, so the tires didn't wear as hard as they probably aren't going to wear right now. Obviously didn't run as many laps in a row. Didn't run 100 laps in practice straight. So this will be a big moment to see whose truck can handle all the wear and tear and whose can't.
The top 8 stayed out. They have not pitted yet in this race. First truck that did pit is Corey LaJoy back in 9th in the 77. And each team has 2 sets of sticker tires.
I love that onboard there with Caden Honeycutt. You could hear him hitting the rev limiter at the end of the straightaway. Those cool temps have increased the speed in the racetrack, and because of that, the engines are right at their limits.
It's so weird when you're driving one of these trucks and you get on the rev limiter and you just want to stay in the gas. You want to drive through it as far as you can. You're like, no, I don't want to lift yet. And we see a great battle right here with Caden and Rajah Caruth for the 7th position. A little bit of bumper tack through the middle of the corner. That's normal for Martinsville. You're just trying to let the guy know that you're back there.
Yeah, Caden lost a spot on that restart to Rajah, but I think his truck's a lot faster. And he's fallen behind here on the points. You can see he's forecasted to be 9 below the cutoff right now. He needs these spots.
These drivers are getting around this half-mile oval. About 20 seconds-ish a lap, and that equates to, well, they're hitting top speed of 115 miles an hour. Like you said, Brad, slowest on the track. And contact right there. Rajah Caruth slows after Caden Honeycutt.
Oh, he's got a flat tire.
Oh, no. He goes. Rajah Caruth, more damage.
This is huge for Rajah, for the team, and for all the playoff bubble standings. This is going to completely reshape the format here.
Oh, look at the concern on their faces.
Had some contact off of turn 4 with Caden Honeycutt. Most likely cut that left rear tire down. Didn't know it till he got to the corner. Then it was too late.
And that looked exactly like what happened in the spring race. Battling for the lead, Caden Honeycutt alongside Corey Heim. They had that very similar contact. Nothing malicious, just typical Martinsville racing. And once that left rear tire gets caught, and cut down. You can't do anything.
You can see
about
the contact on that left rear tire. And right here, you can tell something's wrong. And you're just going too fast to be able to do anything about it.
Rajah was 8th at the time.
Tough break.
Doing all he could with all the damage he already had from earlier contact.
I'm going to tell you, he's not going to be very happy over this. You know, not only did his day get ruined, but that contact with Caden Honeycutt was pretty tough.
Rajah Caruth trying to race his way into the championship 4 for next week. This week announced that he's going full-time racing in the Xfinity Series. Part-time will be for Junior Motorsports. So a very happy week for Rajah, but sad ending here as he sits on the track with an extremely damaged race truck.
And that was hard contact with the nose of his truck, obviously, and you know, you see with the tire off right there and the damage that he's got. He was trying to drive it away, and it's not going to happen. And
so we're under caution here at Martinsville for the 5th time tonight after damage to Rajah Caruth. His night is over. Rajah Caruth going back to the garage with a broken heart and a very wrecked race truck. That brought out our 5th caution for tonight. 123 laps still to go. Let's take another look a little further back where this all started for Rajah Caruth and Caden Honeycutt.
Yeah, and right here you see coming off of turn 2, just a little nudge, nothing egregious, nothing too much to worry about there. Caden Honeycutt sees that he can make a run down in there. He does. Rajah gives him room. Maybe a little bit up on the curb right there, Brad. They touched. It was nothing. Again, I go back to what I said before. Nothing malicious. That's Martinsville racing. But unfortunately, when they get side by side like that, the exhaust pipe on Caden Honeycutt's truck was right where Rajah Caruth's left rear tire was. And as soon as those make contact, it cuts that tire down instantly.
Yeah, you know, Martinsville is just it's a short track. This is part of short track racing. It's not fun, but you're going to have contact. Unfortunately for Rajah, like you said, the contact was just in the wrong spot. That exhaust pipe against the tire, and it was over.
Let's listen to Caden Honeycutt's radio.
Did I run him out of room, or like, what in the world happened?
Just got together and he cut his left rear.
I understand, but you know, I don't know. If I ran him up too far and ran into him, you know, I need to make sure I don't do that.
And I think Caden's trying to reference for later in the race. Like, did I run him up the track, or did I not give him enough room? And man, I stand by what my initial eyes told me was that is Martinsville. That is short track racing right there. And you know, now there's a certain element that you got to refocus your driver. If you're, you know, Caden Honeycutt spotter and team, refocus your driver also. Okay, task at hand still. That's behind us now. We got to look forward.
Yeah, now we're looking at the points as they run right now. It's a tie for the transfer. Caden Honeycutt, 0-point difference between him and Lane Riggs. There is a lot to race for Caden Honeycutt, and he's going to need, to your point, get refocused on the task at hand to try to get this truck to the next round in Championship 4 in Phoenix.
As we get ready for this restart right here, for whatever reason tonight, when you go back 4 or 5 rows in the pack, we're seeing those bold moves. We saw Rajah Caruth do it on the previous restart, being able to go 3 wide. It just appears like there's a little more jam up than normal as they're going into turn 1, and we're going to have to keep an eye on that for the rest of this race. It seems to keep on happening here.
So Rajah Caruth, the first of our playoff drivers, out. Daniel Hemrick back on the lead lap with a lot of damage, and here we go for the restart with Corey Heim. Ty Majeski on the outside, and there's the 9 of Grant Enfinger doing exactly what he needs to do, but he's got to win this race to advance.
Lane Riggs with an excellent restart, chose the 4th position, was able to fill in underneath both of these drivers for 2nd. He might take a look here for 3 wide. Big block by Grant Enfinger. Contact. He's going to push him up the racetrack.
And it works. Lane Riggs picks up another spot. You see in the pylon, Lane Riggs, he has that clock. That means he's had the fastest lap tonight. Driver with the fastest lap picks up an extra point, and that 1 point could be the difference of making it to the round of 4.
And I like what Lane Riggs did going into turn 3 there. Grant was getting ready to repay the favor. He knew it was coming. Gave him a little bit of room. Just, hey, here's the bottom. Yep, I know that I got into you some right there. And live to fight another lap.
That was a big sequence, like I said, for Lane, though. Moved himself up a couple points, gave himself a little cushion.
Corey Heim continues leading here as he's led in every single race this season. 24. We have 1 race remaining.
What a stat. This has been the Corey Heim show. We're watching a lot of different things happen throughout this race, but let's not forget how great Corey Heim has been this year.
They just don't have a weak spot, Brad. I mean, everything you look at with that 11 truck, they find a way to get the job done. And when you really think about his season as a whole, 3 or 4 other races very easily could have and possibly were races. Not only did he dominate, but should have been his. And I think that we're going to be talking about this for a long time to come. Martinsville earlier this year being one of them. You know, we referenced earlier, got the cut left rear at the very end of that race. He dominated that one as well.
He already holds records for most wins in a season ever with 10, most top 3 finishes in a season with 17, 9 straight coming into this race. Tonight, he could become the laps leader most ever in a season, something that Mike Skinner set back in 1996. So basically, if you're watching Corey Heim, he's leading 34 laps and counting now. If he leads 84 laps tonight, he takes over most laps led ever in a season.
He's got a great shot at it. There's a lot of racing left, too, and he is in the catbird seat.
You see right there, Brent Cruz taking another position from Caden Honeycutt, pushing Caden back to the 9th spot right now, and you know, has a couple of hungry trucks behind him as well when you think about Ben Rhodes as well as Matt Crafton back there. So trying everything he can do to save these positions right now.
Brent Cruz got roughed up earlier. Quite a bit of damage on that number 1 truck. The last time we saw him was at the Roval just 2 races ago. Had the race of his career, led the most laps, dominated, sputtered for fuel the last couple of laps, had to pit, was able to come back and finish 2nd.
So Cruz has the newest tires of all these guys, so it'll be interesting to see if he can drive up here over the next 10 laps. Get himself some track position to set up the next pit sequence. But it does show to me, Regan, that tires do make a little bit of a difference.
They do, and you know, I think that's something that was a little curious when this race started, right? Brad, was at what lap count would the tires make a difference? And that matters for this final stage too, because you know, potential 95 lap run to the checkered flag, and what happens if you get a caution with 30 to go? We've seen it at Martinsville plenty of times with the Truck Series.
Absolutely. Caden Honeycutt is so desperate for these points, and he's surrounded with trucks that have fresher tires than he has. He needs to hold those guys up here for the next 9 laps to finish out this stage. Those points are too valuable to lose.
Caden Honeycutt making his way around Norm Benning. Just behind him, a couple of teammates battling for a top 10 with Ben Rhodes and Matt Crafton.
The good news for Caden Honeycutt as we ride along with him right here, a little bit of separation from him back to Connor Jones right now, which would be the next truck coming with those tires, or with fresh tires. So if he can just keep that second interval that he's got right now, then get through to the next yellow and come get your fresh tires and figure out what happens from there.
Corey Heim with a 1-second lead over Ty Majeski.
Been watching the lap times here. The top 3 trucks have been running within hundreds of each other the last few laps. These guys are very evenly matched.
Cream always rises to the top in these playoff races, don't they?
Absolutely. And these 3 here are 3 of the best for sure.
Ty Majeski in the 98. They know when it's go time. We've seen it time and time again with this organization. They did it last year, punched their ticket to Phoenix, won the championship. Looking to back that up here.
And Ty has been so consistent through the playoffs, and I think Talladega, without getting the stage points with the troubles they had there, but still finding a way to get the result, finish in 3rd place. But he has been super consistent and running inside the top 5, as much as anybody right now.
10 straight top 10 finishes for Ty Majeski. The one thing that I'm so curious about is the fact that he has not gone to victory lane this year. That's just surprising. He's had multiple opportunities, races that he has dominated, but they haven't found it just yet.
This just doesn't seem right? The champion from last year hasn't won yet. We've come to expect that out of Ty in that 98 team.
And he's talked about it. They haven't had the season they expected. However, when it came to playoff time, I mean, I just said it, he's got 9 straight top 10 finishes, 10 straight top 10 finishes.
Yeah, well, you look at Ty, and his entire organization is winless. So I wouldn't say it's just his problem. It's a problem for all of them. Matt Crafton has not had the year he's wanted. Ben Rhodes, the same story. So some work to be done there for sure.
Corey Heim making his way around some lap traffic. The 0-2 of Logan Bearden. Final lap. There it is, green and white. Checker flag in the air. Corey Heim picks up stage number 2. That would be 21 stage wins for Corey Heim on the year. Ty Majeski brings it home second. Lane Riggs, Grant Enfinger, and Tanner Gray having a great night, guys. Top 5 for him. 2 stages down. Can Corey Heim hang on for win number 11? We'll be back with pit stops. Welcome back to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series live from Martinsville. Well, we are 104 laps in, 96 to go, and it has been an eventful night for a couple of our playoff drivers. Let's take a look at our race recap.
Well, Jamie, you mentioned an eventful night. It started early on. We see here a restart early on in the race, and Lane Riggs not able to get it in gear, and the checkup that it caused all the way through there. Problems for multiple playoff drivers and multiple other drivers throughout the pack. We see a little caution right there. Daniel Hummer getting some damage with it. Brad, this thing has been all over the place early on so far.
Daniel Hemrick is fighting for his playoff lives, but this one really stood out to me as well. Rajah Caruth, contact with Caden Honeycutt, cuts down the left rear tire. He's going to spin around, hit the wall. His day and his playoff chances are over. Tough break.
And you just hate to see somebody's season come to an end, right? All the races and all the work to get to that point, and you want to be able to race it out at Martinsville all the way through to the end of the race, and man, such a tough break for Rajah.
So the top 6 drivers have not yet pitted tonight. Pit road will be open next time by. You mentioned Brent Cruz back in 7th, last pitted on lap 55. He had those fresher tires. So here they come. Corey Heim is leading them down. Todd, they're coming your way.
Yeah, Jamie, 34, Lane Riggs. He got a little tight when he was back in traffic, got that clean air, and it didn't get any better. So they're going to free the truck up a little bit. The 98 of Ty Majeski, he still does not like his truck. It's gotten even worse as the run went on. Joe Shear Jr. going to take a big swing at it. Amanda?
We see Tyler Anchor pulling in there, and he talked about how this playoff's been a haunted house. Well, he survived the boogeyman so far here, but he's struggling with a tight truck out there as he's going to take tires on that 18 and then of Caden Honeycutt. It's been a tight truck for him as well, but biggest concern out there, he's saying, I cannot get this throttle down. Guys, he said at the top of the race, I have to stress patience. And Regan, as you just said, it's been chaos out there.
Thank you, Amanda. A whole gaggle of trucks come out behind Corey Heim. His team gets it done. Ty Majeski as well. Tanner Gray's had a great night. Improves 2 spots with his pit crew. See, Caden Honeycutt's team got it done. Lane Riggs, though, loses 2 spots. And, guys, he didn't have a great pit selection because he didn't qualify last week at Talladega.
Yeah, and another truck with trouble on pit road. You see Tyler Ankrum right there. Looked like they were having some trouble on the right front initially. Not sure what caused him to still be on pit road right now there, but tough break for him. He's done everything right up until this point. And to your point, Jamie, lost the pit selection for Lane Riggs. Had a little bit of a slow stop on the right front also watching them. But what I really took away from that also is you saw the opening for him because Rajah Caruth is no longer there.
Let's take a look at that pit stop you just talked about. Watch the right front.
Looks like it won't quite come out or go back in here. The tire's hitting the fender.
You see the fender buckling right there. Just can't quite get it up, get it onto there.
Yeah, the Jackman was struggling to get the tire inside there. I don't think that was Jackman's fault. I think the clearances are just a little bit too tight. Same problem here on the left front as well. He's asking to jack it up just a little bit higher.
Oh, the pit gun broke.
Oh my goodness. And like you said, Regan, Tyler has done everything perfect in this race. Now he's got some adversity here. He still has a point gap to work off of, but it just got a lot smaller.
Guys, Rajah Caruth is out of the race and out of the medical center. He's with Amanda.
Yeah, Jamie, and as he walked over to the interview, he kind of shrugged his shoulders and said, it happens. I know you've seen the replay at this point. Walk us through what happened.
Yeah, I mean, I was feeling really good about our chances. Our truck was, our HenryCars.com server auto was turning very well tonight, and it started with the 34 missing the ship on the restart and knocking the nose up, and kind of was battling the handling from that point. And obviously watching it here, it's just racing. I know it wasn't on purpose. You've seen it. I mean, he did it to Corey by accident in the spring, and Cup guys have done that same thing. So it obviously wasn't on purpose. Just bummer it was me. So it's yeah, heartbreaker for sure. I think we were in a really good spot. But it is what it is. So we'll keep on pushing, and the sun will still come out tomorrow. It sucks now, but yeah, it's part of it.
We'll see you in Phoenix.
Yep.
Great attitude. I don't think I could be that way and speak that well after such a heartbreak.
I know I couldn't be. I'll tell you that. I'd be pretty hot right now. And you know, racing is a very difficult sport. You don't fully control what happens to you, and some things happened outside of Rajah's control today, and that's tough.
Yeah, and I think we've come to expect that out of Rajah, though. He just he handles himself the right way and does things the right way. So unfortunate for him. We definitely wanted to see him have a chance as we see the choose taking place again right now. And this field is going to be completely mixed up, Brad. We've got the top 9 trucks that are going to be on older tires that stayed out after pitting earlier in the race. And your trucks that were leading are going to be starting 10th place on back. This is, you talked about the key moments early on. And
seminal moment for the race,
one of them being the restart where the missed shift. This one here, you got to find a way to get through this cleanly and not tear your truck up as the field shuffled up.
Absolutely, and a lot of these guys need the points here as we look at our cutoff line. With the 34, the 1852, points are super, super close right now. You've got to be so careful not to get torn up making your way through the field.
And Tyler Ankrum, we don't even see him on the left side of the screen right now. That's because he's in 21st. A lot of ground for him to make up here.
Lost a lot of spots on pit road, and here we go. Brent Cruz in the number 1. Gio Ruggiero, 17 on the outside. Corey Heim down in 10th. Won both stages. He pitted that time. He restarts in 10th.
Ruggiero with the freshest tires of the guys that did not pit this last time. He pitted on lap 76 compared to Brent Cruz on lap 55.
Look at him battling on the outside, Brad. That'll be the first time all night we've seen somebody clear for the lead from the outside, and we'll have to keep an eye on that. I know the tire difference is 3 wide down here to 1.
Corey Heim with a big move. Following Ty Majeski through the field. Ty Majeski has passed him.
Oh, Lane Riggs contact with Jake Garcia there. Lane Riggs 3 wide, right in the middle.
This is the part of the race where things are super sketchy. A lot of contact. Corey Heim's going to make a dive on Ty Majeski up here, trying to get that spot back. That has big implications for who can win this race. Remember, Ty Majeski does not have to win the race to transfer, but he certainly can use every point, and winning the race will ensure that he does transfer.
You got to think, though, Corey Heim right now is he's out there just trying to get another win, and you want to take options away from Ty Majeski, right? If he gets by him, and that would be the battle of the freshest tires as they come through this traffic. If he can get ahead of Ty Majeski and take one more option for Ty to transfer through to Phoenix, why not do it?
Absolutely. He does not want to have to race Ty Majeski in Phoenix if so possible.
The battle for 9th, Ty Majeski over Corey Heim. Caden Honeycutt right behind him, and Lane Riggs entering the picture just behind the 52 truck.
So they're racing Connor Mozak here, trying to get the 8th spot. About 30 lap fresher tires on Ty Majeski, but that outside lane is not the fast lane, so kind of a great equalizer for those tires.
Just take a look at the bottom left of your screen right now, and the point situation that we've got currently where they're at.
Is this
a three-way tie? I thought this could happen at the start of the day, and wow.
Regan said it on our production call this week. There is going to be a tie. Mark my words. Look at that playoff bubble.
Corey Heim still working over Ty Majeski, and Caden Honeycutt also had a great sequence here in that restart. Remember, he had faded back just a little bit, but he's nailed this restart here. He's going to take a look at Corey Heim now.
What a comeback for Lane Riggs in the 34. Could have been so much worse. That restarted first. Wouldn't shift into 3rd, as he said. He fell back.
Lane Riggs really needs these positions, but they all need these positions. But Lane Riggs has the fastest truck and an opportunity to win this race.
Just a reminder, the drivers in yellow in the pylon are the playoff drivers. Corey Heim in green, because he has already advanced to the round of 4 in a week from tonight. But meanwhile, Gio Ruggiero, we talked about momentum earlier, Regan. You're a big believer in it, and so are a lot of race car drivers. Gio unsealed it last week, getting that first win, and here he is leading at Martinsville.
And just that confidence and that weight off of your shoulders from getting that first win, Jamie, it can continue to compound and go, go even further with that. That's something that'll carry into next year and into the offseason in particular for him.
I really like this position he's in, not just as the leader. Of course, that's always a great place to be in, but his tires are only about 30 laps older than the guys that just pitted. There's a lot of trucks in between them. He's not racing as hard as these guys are racing, so he's able to take care of his stuff. He's in a great position.
Amanda.
Yeah, Regan, there may be confidence, but he's still got this edge to him all season long. I've been asking how his rookie year is going, and he's said to me every time, I don't have a win yet. I don't have a win yet. Well, I talked to him today. He's like, well, I got that win, but I'm still not satisfied. I said, why? He was sitting next to Corey Heim. He said, well, that guy's my teammate. I then asked Corey Heim, what did you make of Gio
also very smart because he's leaned on Corey Heim. He has access to his data. He goes to the sim when Corey's in it just to learn what he needs. And it has paid off.
Absolutely. And on the other side of the screen, we're watching something that's not paying off. Caden Honeycutt got trapped behind the 81. He's going to fight really hard to get down in front of Grant Enfinger. That was an important moment. He was bleeding out some points here. He's able to control the situation now.
And this is the farthest back we've seen Grant Enfinger all night, 13th.
And as this stage continues to play out, still 76 laps to go, a lot of racing, a lot of things can happen. But as you look at the scenario we've got, Caden Honeycutt and Lane Riggs are basically either tied or +1, -1 to the good, depending on who's running where. And as they try to come through the field together, they're going to be aware of that. Their crew chiefs are going to make sure they know what's going on. Then you got Tyler Ankrum still a little ways further back in the field. Restarted in 21st, has only moved up to 19th. But Tyler has a number of spots in front of him that he can potentially gain as this plays out. So you got to think that maybe Caden Honeycutt and Lane Riggs know the scenario that the two of them are going to be possibly racing for this last spot as it gets down to it.
You see Tyler Ankrum there doing exactly what he needed to do earlier, and then the bad pit stop. Pit gun broke, it looked like, for him, so he slid all the way outside the top 15 in the 19th spot right now.
That's an absolute disaster for him. He had done everything right. That really has buried him in the field. He has not been able, to your point, Regan, to claw out of that. I know there's still 73 laps left, but if that's what eliminates him from the playoffs, that is another tough way to go out.
And you know, I still go back to just the thought process of look at all the trucks right in front of him.
Contact right there. Butterbean struggling right there. Looked like he got into Tanner Gray. A lot of damage on that 7. By the way, Butterbean Queen, we mentioned ARCA Menards Series champion, just crowned a couple of weeks ago. 8 race wins on the season, and they announced that he will be joining College Racing next season here full-time in the truck. So you'll be seeing a lot of Butterbean Queen.
What an opportunity for Brendan Queen too, and you know, it's great to see these drivers coming off of the short tracks finding a way.
Here we go, Tyler Ankrum making a run on Ben Rhodes. It's a really important pass for him.
Every spot is a point.
And when they cross the line, if he's able to complete that pass, you will see the bubble shift a little bit more. Right now, +1 to the good. He'd like to have a little more gap.
Oh, Ben Rhodes isn't just going to give it to him. A nice crossover move.
Lane Riggs taking a peek inside Ty Majeski.
That's another important pass, right? That's one of the cars that he's on equal tires to, or trucks that he's on equal tires to. Moves himself up. How about Daniel Hemrick? He's been laps down. His truck's been shooting water out.
Hanging on for
He is
dear
hanging on
life.
for dear life in 8th place here. A lot of fast trucks around him. It's going to be very difficult for him to win this race, but you got to appreciate the effort.
So Lane Riggs picks up another spot. Riggs +5 above that cut line.
3 wide into turn 3 here, and they're going to make it work out.
This is where, if I'm Joe Shear, Ty Majeski's crew chief, I'm telling him, hey, look, I want you to win the race. We all want to win the race, but you don't have to win the race. You're in a good spot right now. Don't get yourself in trouble. Avoid any self-inflicted harm that you can possibly avoid. That's what he needs to know right now.
How much of that do you like to know, Brad? You've been in these situations multiple times.
Oh, I want to know every second of it, right? Because your mentality is very dynamic. It's changing based on your situation, and the situation has changed for Ty Majeski. He entered this race needing a great day. He doesn't need a great day anymore. He needs a good day.
Right.
That's what his crew chief needs to tell him.
Caden Honeycutt, the 52, just picked up a spot, and that bumped Tyler Ankrum outside by 1.
Regan, I'm with you. I think that one's going to keep shifting back and forth as Tyler Ankrum works his way through some of this traffic. He's been back and forth with Ben Rhodes. He's got Queen in front of him, Nux, Butterbean Queen.
Brett Cruz now leading. Watching these two drivers, both Toyota development drivers. Brett Cruz, 17-year-old from Hickory, North Carolina, leading this one. He's part-timer right now.
And Jamie, Brad's pointed out a couple times this tire situation there, which makes that pass by Brent Cruz even more impressive with the roughly 20 lap older tires. Some of those were under yellow, but it still matters. And he stayed right there with him and waited till he got the opportunity.
63 laps to go here. Brent Cruz continues to lead over Gio Ruggiero. We'll step aside. You won't miss a thing. We're going Fox side by side. Well, you saw it in side-by-side. A.J. Waller in the 22 truck went around, brought out the caution for the 7th time. All right, boys. Brad Keselowski, Regan Smith, put on your crew chief hats. Who pits here, if anyone?
Well, luckily we're both drivers, so we may get it wrong on this when we start talking about it, but I think that if you're Tyler Ankrum back in 18th place, you definitely have to pit. Where the question gets a little bit fuzzier, if you will, is going to be up around Daniel Hemrick, Grant Enfinger in 10th and 11th. I think they come, right, Brad? Yep. I don't know what you do. If you're Lane Riggs, Ty Majeski, Caden Honeycutt, I don't know what you do if you're those guys right there. You don't want fresh tires right behind you, but do you risk giving up the track position?
Yeah, Honeycutt to me has one of the difficult decisions to make. His crew chief has the difficult decision to make in that 8th place position. You have to think a lot of the trucks behind him are going to pit and put on tires. Why wouldn't they? They have nothing to lose, and they have one set of brand new Goodyear tires on pit road. But if they don't, you're now buried, and you're not going to get back out of that most likely.
Yep.
And what we've seen, tires are worth a little something.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the trucks, that found their way up to the track position. They found it with those tires. They were able to come through the field quite a bit early on, and we'll have to see what happens.
I'm liking my spot here in the booth. This is much better than being a crew chief right now, making this decision, as we're going to see them all pass through pit road. And our first truck,
Jack Wood
in 5th is the first one. And
all right, I see 19, a Daniel Hemrick. It's Corey LaJoy there. 45 as well, that's Bailey Curry.
Grant Enfinger decides to stay out right there.
Not as many takers as I thought we'd get here. Tyler Ankrum stayed out. That one I'm really surprised by.
Ankrum and Enfinger, we were told as we were monitoring, they may come in. They decide against it. Daniel Hemrick.
Didn't have much to lose. Like I said, he's got a set laying down here to put on. Was not in a position to play offense. Let's see what Amanda can say as well.
Yeah, just watching Kevin Bellacourt synchronize this whole thing, telling his crew guys, take these 4 tires, the splash of fuel, and we are off. Oddly enough, Daniel Hemrick is reporting that the balance on this truck is good. This will be the last stop for the 19, so if something's going to happen, it'll be right here.
I like this pit call for Daniel. Nothing to lose.
Yep.
Let's put my driver on offense. Hasn't been our night, really not even from our own fault. That restart damage just put him so far behind. But now he gets a chance to drive his way up to the front and make something happen.
I love what Amanda said. All the damage, everything he's been through. It's driving well, so let's put tires on, see what we can do. We'll be back. About 50 laps to go by the time we drop the green. Welcome back to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series live from Martinsville. As we come to the restart zone, Brent Cruz, Gio Ruggiero will lead him. Corey Heim on the outside in the 11 truck. We have had some action tonight, and here we go. 52 laps to go in this one. We will decide the championship 4, moving on to Phoenix in a week from now.
Great restart for Brent Cruz.
Chandler Smith inside the 38. Haven't talked about him much tonight.
He pitted here around the same time as Brent Cruz and those guys, and he has just been steady and quiet. Didn't have a great qualifying run, but remember, that's the team truck to Lane Riggs, who has been the dominant truck all weekend long.
And Chandler on short tracks, you expect he's going to find a way to get it done at some point. He's been so good on the short tracks and showing that right now.
So just an update on our championship 8 contenders. Rajah Caruth had severe damage. He is out of the race and out of contention. Daniel Hemrick with a lot of damage. He just came in, took his last set of tires. He's back in 24th. Tyler Ankrum was expected to come in, guys, but we got word from Amanda that maybe some rear brake issues. They told him to stay out on track. And by the way, 5 trucks ahead of him pitted, so that gave him an automatic 5 spots.
And I think that's what they got to be thinking right now is if we're going to struggle to pass to get through the pack, let's take the spots when we can get them. And you see on the left side of the screen, because of those positions, he is now +2 to the good. So this is going to be something to continue to monitor. And we know that Tyler Ankram's truck is good enough if he gets to the front, barring anything catastrophic with those rear brake issues that he's fighting, that he can maybe maintain.
Big pass right there for Caden Honeycutt around Ty Majeski. Gives him an extra point cushion.
Talking about the 52 truck, the blue one there.
He really battled Ty Majeski hard. Looked like Ty knew what was on the line. Kind of like I was saying earlier, he just needs a good day, not a great day for Ty Majeski. And he had somebody behind him who needs a great day. Maybe not the time to block. He let him go, got back in line, lived to fight another day.
Just a lot of breathing room for Ty Majeski, Brad. Those 5 points, he can leisurely stroll.
Yeah. For NASCAR and the way the playoff structure is, 5 points right now feels like a lot.
I am so nervous for all these guys right now. One thing goes wrong, and
look at the battle for 6th,
big crash.
And the caution comes out again. Tony Breidinger hard into the outside wall. Whew, and the 84 as well, Patrick Staropoli.
Just as Lane Riggs had cleared for the 4th position, he and Corey Heim have slowly carved their way through the field with a lot of laps left and slightly fresher tires.
Caden Honeycutt was all over Gio Ruggiero and Lane Riggs.
Tony was having a decent race here, running 20th. Kind of a quiet day for her. Ooh, so she's going to get some contact with Corey LaJoie. It's going to turn her around into the outside wall in turns 1 and 2.
How many times do we see that at Martinsville, Brad? Somebody makes that move down to the bottom, and the truck on the outside maybe either doesn't know or doesn't have time to react to it. You get up on that curb, and as you make that dive bomb move, and the truck on the outside always gets the worst of it.
Corey LaJoie had pitted for new tires, was trying to work his way back through the field. Not a lot of patience for making passes, nor should you when you're trying to make your way through the field, and this is what happens.
Minding her own business. Great equipment, but it's got to be frustrating knowing 3 of your teammates are up there in the top 4. Well, track cleanup continues. We'll step aside. We'll be back at Martinsville. A busy day at the Paperclip starts with practice and qualifying for the Xfinity and Cup Series, followed by the final race in the round of 8 for the Xfinity Series. On-track activity begins at 1 Eastern on the CW app. And the guy sitting to my right will be in the race car, Cup practice and qualifying. You excited for the weekend, Brad? Just 2 races to go in the season.
I love Martinsville. This is always one of the best races of the year. Long race, Cup Series race, 500 laps. Feels like 1,000, but it's a good one. Can't miss NASCAR race.
Do you keep those clocks wound up all the time that you've got? Do you let them die down?
You know, I've got 2 as a driver and 1 as an owner, and they're hard to keep up with. But you know who's having a hard time keeping up with his truck right now, actually, speaking of that, is Ty Majeski. I think we have some audio on him and some of the problems he's facing.
Yeah, we got brake problems here. I can't get a pedal. Pedal at all? I can get it back, but it goes to the floor. It takes about 5 pumps to get it.
Yeah, and that's not something that you want to have happen. And what he's referencing is when those brakes start to go soft, you got to hit the pedal that many times before you have a solid pedal going into the corner to slow it down. Now the good news is right now typically that comes from heat in the brakes. So these yellow flags are good for Ty Majeski, but let's keep an eye on that. If we get a long run here when we go back green, we saw him fading just a little bit, and now we know why right before the yellow flag came out. And I know we thought maybe he was being a little cautious because he was good in the point situation, but this could be something that builds as the race goes.
Absolutely. Fortunately for Ty, he doesn't have that many laps left. It sounds like he's able to still get a pedal. He just has to work really hard for it.
And I like the calmness out of Ty. That's an experienced veteran that has been on the short tracks his whole life and has had this before.
And Grant Enfinger decided to come down and take those tires. He pitted from 8th. He'll restart 22nd here. Good move, guys?
It's a fine move. The only question I've got is I would have liked to have done it on the previous yellow. It was apparent that he probably wasn't in a position to win on the previous yellow. You could have at least made up a few spots before the yellow, maybe been up 5 or 6 more positions right now, so we'll have to see if it works out for him.
He's going to need a lot of carnage here to make his way through the field, and none of that carnage can be him.
That's the other key.
Brent Cruz, the control truck, Chandler Smith on the outside. It'll be 38 laps to go. Green flag in the air once again, nose to nose into turn 1. Caden Honeycutt peeks out. Look at Lane Riggs on the outside of Corey Heim.
Caden Honeycutt needing these 1 or 2 points to transfer his way through if the field stays as it is. Now big pump on Chandler Smith. That's going to move Corey Heim through to 2nd.
I'm not sure that Chandler Smith is done battling for this just yet. I imagine he didn't like that dive bomb into the corner. Now you got his teammate, Lane Riggs, going to be the inside of him as well.
All these battles are so pivotal. Points battle is so close. One spot can make or break your entire season right here.
And these moves are just going to continue to get more and more aggressive, Brad. I mean, we are 35 or 36 laps to go. We are in crunch time right now, and there's going to be no apologies, right? You're just going to take the move and do what you have to at this point.
Oh, the 45, Bailey Curry. He's on pit road. Expect to stay green.
Ty Majeski, see him here behind Tanner Gray. He's holding up Daniel Hemrick.
Daniel Hemrick is officially done. Succumbed to all of the issues they endured with that truck, so he is out of playoff contention.
And that team did such a nice job to even get him back out there with the ability to try and battle for it. Even got up into the top 10 with all that damage at one point, and unfortunate that it's going to come to an end early.
Meanwhile, a non-playoff driver, a part-timer in this series, 17-year-old Brent Cruz continues to lead over his teammate Corey Heim. Chandler Smith back to 3rd, and then you have Lane Riggs and Caden Honeycutt. Caden has to get around Lane at this point if he wants a shot. He's 2 points out right now. He needs a couple of spots. He needs some help here.
There's 2 ways for Caden to transfer. He either goes up there and gets it, or he needs some misfortune for Tyler Ankrum. Tyler Ankrum has leveled himself out in that 11th position, holding a decent gap to the trucks around him, but there's new tires behind him. So this could get really chaotic if this next 32 laps stays green.
Racing with his visor up. Is that just to get some fresh air in there?
Absolutely. He's all eyes forward right now. This is his season. He's done a great job. Had a lot of adversity throughout the year, and he's still in contention right here. And I'll tell you, if he can stay this close to Lane Riggs for the next 30 laps, he's got a shot at a kind of a last lap Hail Mary here to make his way in.
Yeah, and I think the flip side, if he does get by Lane Riggs right here, that's almost like a 2-for-1 pass because it takes a point away from Lane. That would put Lane back to +1 to the cutoff, and it would make him -1. So you get even closer right there. And how much more important right now, Jamie, as this is shaking up right now, you look at the left side of your screen, Lane Riggs with the fastest lap of the race emblem next to his name. How much more important does that become? That 1 point could be the difference in a moment.
Unbelievable. An entire season comes down to this moment and can be defined. Your season can be defined by that 1 point that gets you to Phoenix.
See on the left side of your screen there, Tyler Ankrum battling for every spot he can get. 2 to the good right now. That's 2 positions right in front of him.
But
he would love to have
right?
those.
Because Tyler Ankrum has that 2-point cushion. But Caden Honeycutt, if he gets 1 point, it's right there in front of him, right? So it changes the whole philosophy here for what Caden Honeycutt needs to do if he's 2 versus 1 points behind.
Now, if Caden Honeycutt ties here with Tyler Ankrum, the tie break would go to the 52. Well, second playoff driver out of this race, Daniel Hemrick. He's standing by with Amanda.
Yeah, Jamie, you can see the hood up of the 19 here with us in the garage area. Daniel, how will you digest tonight for yourself?
I couldn't hear a single word you said, but yeah, I'm just proud of the fight of everyone on this Napa number 19 team. I appreciate Napa Night Vision being on board, and really appreciate everything in Napa Auto Care, Gates Hydraulics, South Point Hotel Casino, Puppy Bank, everything that everyone's given us all year, including Chevrolet, to just go and be in that spot. And we just wasn't the last couple weeks for us. And I know we're better than this. And still, we fought to the bitter end until we broke the engine, having to run it so hot all night. So, not ideal. There's a lot to be said, right? Humble in victory, gracious in defeat, and definitely did a good job of not putting it together the last couple weeks. And at the end of the day, like, you got to be your best throughout this stretch to have a chance, and not going to happen this one here.
Daniel and Jamie, team members were here patting him on the back when he made it here, and he was speechless until that interview.
Well, a lot to keep their head up high about what they did their first year together here at McAnally Hilgeman Racing. And meanwhile, the battle is heating up. Tyler Ankrum trying with all his might to get around the 41 of Connor Jones. And
he's got to make this pass. All these trucks behind him have newer tires, and they are coming. If he does not get by the 41, he's going to get 8. Gio Ruggiero right back there. He's coming fast. A lot of action behind him. This is a big moment for Tyler Ankrum.
And they got side by side.
Oh, there we go.
Gio Ruggiero sends Connor Mozak to the outside wall. Caution is out.
You could see that coming. The Wolves were coming to eat, all with faster tires. Someone was going to get 8. Fortunately, it's Connor Mozak.
So that's the 9th caution on the night.
And now what do you do? If you're Tyler Ankrum, you've got those fresh tires, Brad, as you just mentioned. You're going to restart with them all around you. You're going to be the buffer to the rest of the field for them. You can't afford to lose any positions. And obviously you're not pitting at this point, so Tyler Ankrum's going to have to just get up on the wheel and you know, take the bull by the horn, essentially.
Absolutely. We'll go green probably here with about 15 laps to go. There's 21 now. This caution will probably be a 5 or 6 lap caution. So it won't be a terribly long time to go, to your point, Regan, but he's in trouble, yes. Yeah, this is not the spot he wants to be in.
Let's listen to Tyler Ankrum's radio.
Go tell this 41 it's getting ready to be set. Yeah, I'll go work with this guy.
Yeah, and I had a feeling we were going to hear that. Well, while we were talking to Daniel Hemrick and Amanda was talking to Daniel Hemrick, you saw him get side by side, and Tyler was trying to complete that pass. They leaned on each other quite a bit through the corner right there with that side-by-side battle. And when you're racing for points and racing for an opportunity to win a championship, you get frustrated really quick with guys. And not that the 41 of Connor Jones was doing anything wrong. He's outrunning his race as well. It just, you get even more frustrated as that playoff driver.
But you know, he's just here to go for a win in the race. He's a part-timer. Yep. Points don't matter to him at this point, but they do for the 18.
100%.
Absolutely. He's not doing anything wrong. He's just running his race, to your point. And, you know, if you're Tyler Ankrum, like, I have so much on the line. Will you give me a little break? You know, but that's not what racing is. That's in fact, that's exactly the opposite of what racing is. We're supposed to be racing each other for every point, every position, every lap.
Well, start your Saturday strong as resurgent UCLA takes on the number 2 Indiana. Then it's a Big 12 clash between 11th ranked BYU and Iowa State. It all starts with big noon Saturday, only on Fox. How about Indiana? How about those Hoosiers?
2, your Indiana teams are having a good year, Jamie. It's very impressive for them. It'll be a great game tomorrow on Fox at noon.
The Pacers, we almost won the championship last year. The Fever did great. It's good to be an Indiana fan. And even Chase Briscoe, a Hoosier, punching his ticket to the championship for. You know,
it's a big couple of weeks.
It's a big state.
Just so many wagons to jump on if you're from Indiana right now. Wow, how do you pick one?
I'll tell you, the wagon that I'm watching is the Caden Honeycutt wagon. 2 points back. Tyler Ankrum is up against the ropes. What kind of move is Caden Honeycutt going to make here when we go back green? You know, I'm curious what his mindset and mentality is. He could find himself in trouble and get over aggressive here and hand this to Tyler Ankrum. This is a big moment.
Brad, he just needs to get up on the wheel like you've done twice before here in the Cup Series. Got a couple of those grandfather clocks. There he is.
Those were good days. I got to tell you, winning at Martinsville, it's one of my favorite wins of my entire career. It was just an incredible feeling. You know, this track has so much, you know, kind of heritage, history to our sport. And then that clock, it's got to be one of the coolest trophies in all of sports. It's one you can actually put in your house. It's like a piece of furniture and tell the story for years to come. And that one meant a lot to me.
Your wife can't argue about that one, right? Other trophies, they can say, no, put that in the office or somewhere else. That one you can put it right out for everybody to see it.
That was a good one.
We're happy as always to have you, Brad, in the middle of your season. Joey Logano's been doing this as well. I know you guys have a lot on your plate this time of year, so we appreciate it.
This is awesome. You know what I love about calling the race? I get to see all these different camera angles. And for the people at home, there is so much action on this track at Martinsville. I don't even know how we know what to show. There's just stuff everywhere. That's Martinsville. I mean, there's battles in 5th, 10th for the lead. This is just such an action-packed racetrack. Glad everybody's joining us.
It's Brad Keselowski, Regan Smith, I'm Jamie Little, Todd Bodine, Amanda Busick, all with you here as we take a look back at the start of this race. That restart from Lane Riggs went south quick.
Yeah, this affected a number of the playoff competitors. We see here contact for Norm Benning. He was 3 wide, then he was 2 wide. He gets turned around just a little bit there, and Daniel Humrick now senses fallen out of the race. Tough breaks for him.
Yeah, this moment really stood out for me. Rajah Caruth, contact with Caden Honeycutt, cuts down a left rear tire, spins out into the outside wall in turns 1 and 2. This will end his day and his playoff hopes.
And that moment, Brad, was also the one that really shook it up for the rest of the playoff competitors. Tyler Ankrum, we see having a bad pit stop right here. The pit gun on the left front broke. They had trouble on the right front, and then it broke over on the left front. He's really not been able to pass many trucks since then as he's gotten mired back in the field, but they've gotten track position other ways to get him back to the plus good right now.
And remember, Tyler Ankrum has those older tires than the guys around him. He will restart 11th. Brent Cruz, though, in the 1, doing a heck of a job once again. Like we saw 2 weeks ago, he's led 52 laps and counting. He's got his teammate, the man of the year, restarting 2nd as the leader just crossed the line. We've reached our Craftsman 15 to go.
He did what he had to do. He got up on the wheel, Jamie, and made a dive bomb into turn 1. Chandler Smith gave him room. He knows what's on the line. And that's 2 huge points.
Caden Honeycutt into 3rd.
That moves Lane Riggs below the cutoff line.
Lane Riggs 2 trucks back from the 52. He's got to get around his teammate in the 38 just ahead of him. Caution is out once again.
And this is where it really gets dicey, because it's gonna be a good restart, a bad restart, some beating and banging, a relatively clean restart right there. We've seen a lot of jam ups up until this point. That one didn't seem to go that way, but Caden Honeycutt, you know, takes the opportunity when it's there and makes that dive bomb.
Yeah, good move by him. Also +1 on the restart. Tyler Ankrum, all of that really affected Lane Riggs. He did not need that sequence. He's probably happy we got a yellow to try that one again.
Yep.
So this is going to be interesting on this restart. Just something to keep in mind. The 1, Brent Cruz has 50 lap older tires to his teammate, Corey Heim. All right, so 10th caution.
So they're giving Corey Heim, it looks like, the lead through this sequence. A lot just happened here in the last minute or so of action. We have.
They're saying he was ahead of the one at the time of caution.
Caution for Bailey Crew. I'm not entirely sure what happened to cause the caution with Bailey, but
he was still under power, still rolling.
Well, I don't know about y'all. My palms are sweating for these guys right now,
yes.
and trying to, just trying to understand, okay, who needs a spot? What are you gonna have to do? And as much as we've talked about, do the drivers want to know? They want to know, but at this point in the race, the crew chiefs aren't going to be able to update them enough. I think the message from the crew chiefs to these playoff bubble drivers is going to have to be every spot you can, take everything you can get, no matter what.
One of the things I'm really curious about in this next restart, Lane Riggs, he's positioned in P5. He's in a spot to where he can make a very aggressive move. He only needs one position. He has one of those trucks as his teammate. This restart is going to be epic.
Caden Honeycutt took full advantage of that last restart. Brad, you mentioned it. He got those much needed positions, and that has him right now above the cut line by just 1 point over Lane Riggs, who is 2 trucks behind him.
You see, as we look at the left side of the screen, Grant Enfinger took those tires, and he was coming through the field at a pretty good clip for a moment there. And, unfortunately, as we see the choose about to happen right now.
Oh, this is interesting. The teammates are going to go 1-2. It's a good way to protect each other.
Restart on the front row.
That was a bad choose for Lane Riggs, because Caden Honeycutt now picking those spots up. If he can hold off one of those spots, it makes it even more difficult for him, because now he doesn't need just one spot. He needs 2 spots from somewhere with that scenario.
Ty Majeski holding on strong there. We talked about his brake issues. So far, that has not hurt him. He's going to restart 6th here.
And you mentioned Grant Enfinger, just his situation right now back in 12th. He's in a must-win at this point.
Yeah, and I think that, at this point with these yellows, the tires probably are not likely to work out for him at this point, but it was a good attempt.
So here we go. Corey Heim restarts on the inside. Caden Honeycutt on the outside. Lane Riggs in the 34, watching him. Can he pick up a spot here on the 1? He takes a look, can't make it happen.
Not a great restart for Brent Cruz.
And a really key restart for Caden Honeycutt, able to get down into the 2nd position right here. That's exactly what he wanted once that outside lane had opened up for him to start on the front row.
Lane Riggs really needs this position on his teammate.
Ty Majeski on the outside. Taking a look, could make it more difficult here for Lane.
Majeski in the wall. Heavy contact.
Riggs tried to block Ty Majeski.
Ty's now in that outside lane with damage. Big clear right there to get back down in line. He was wounded there for a second. He's going to spell reprieve.
7 laps to go. Lane Riggs 2 points out.
Tyler Ankrum having a great restart. His lane keeps moving. He's gaining points, adding to that cushion.
And now all of a sudden, Ty Majeski, as he's losing another position potentially right here, Brad.
He's fading
now
fast.
He's the guy that we've got to really look at. And
oh, wow, what a struggle. That was a terrible corner, 1 and 2. That truck is limping.
Around they go. 41. Connor Jones, a few trucks involved here. The caution comes out for the 11th time.
Oh, Majeski's in a lot of trouble right here, guys. His tires have faded. He's got contact. That yellow was a save for him.
And we know his brakes are not working. Dawson Sutton, he's able to refire.
That restart completely changed the complexion of this race. Caden Honeycutt gained that extra spot. Tyler Ankrum +2 on the restart. And then, of course, Ty Majeski losing 3 or 4 spots here.
There's Majeski, just 1 point above. Let's take a look at that contact. Ty Majeski there outside in the 98.
You can see this truck is bouncing.
Yeah, it just went right up the racetrack. That was
really strange.
That was odd.
Looking. Almost like he's got a tire going down or something.
Yeah, and that was after the wall contact on the restart. And not sure that we've seen that truck do that all night long. And a little bit odd, so we'll have to keep an eye on what's going on there to cause that.
To your point, Regan, he had contact with the wall, you know, maybe one lap earlier. I wonder if it damaged the suspension on that truck. That didn't look right.
Let's listen to Majeski's radio.
I got a right front flat, I think. Or something bad. I don't know. We're right front's okay. We're
See the left front damage right here, but it kind of like Ty said, it looked like it was coming from the right front.
And I don't think that left front, you know, it's not even rubbing, so I don't think that's anything. And I got to imagine when he says
Here's
right
where
front.
he got in the wall right here off of turn 2. Ooh, pretty good contact.
And Lane just thinking he was clear, right? It's the end of the race. You're taking every inch that you can take right there. And Ty's not going to back out either in this moment. You see it. He gets the worst of it.
Whew, talk about a stressful moment
I know.
for this man right here.
And we're going to have a restart with the green-white checker to finish it all off here. Lane Riggs 1 point back. He's got his teammate around him.
Todd.
Yeah, Jamie, the guys in the booth hit it right on the money. Talked about the front of Ty's truck bouncing. Well, earlier in the race, Ty complained about it bouncing, told his crew chief, Joe Shearer, it's exactly like it was in the spring. It's got that same bounce. So spot on, guys.
Yeah, and the unfortunate thing right now for Ty is, you know, there's no more pit stops. You got 2 laps to go, and he's just going to have to find a way to will that truck around the corner for these last 2 laps. And, you know, right now he's 1 to the good. So yes. Can he find a way? And I guess where I'm scratching my head a little bit is
2 laps, Regan. That's all he needs, 2 laps.
2 laps. But do you take the inside? Do you take the outside, knowing that, you know, how can you hold him off better? What lane do you pick based on that?
All right, guys, it's going to be our first attempt here at NASCAR overtime, as the leaders come out at turn 4. You see the overtime rules. It's a 2-lap shootout. The leader takes the white flag. The next flag will end the race, whether it's green or it's caution.
So really, we're looking at this kind of 4-way battle between 18 Tower Ankrum, the 52 Caden Honeycutt, Ty Majeski 98, and Lane Riggs 34. All of these guys are within 4 points of each other. So it will not take much for this to dramatically reshape based on what happens on this restart. There's room for 3 of them. There's not room for 4 of them.
And much like the previous restart, this choose is going to be critical, right? Who takes what lane? Why do you select which row you select? And you know, it honestly can be 1 bump can send you back 4 positions in 1 corner. So this thing's going to keep shaking up here, you know, on this restart for this green-white checkered. And I don't know that we're going to know until well after they cross the start-finish line who's going to be racing in Phoenix for a championship.
And while all this is happening, Corey Heim is just smiling, saying, I think I can get me another one right here.
All right, so we see Lane Riggs able to take the outside, move up to the 4th position on the outside. So he'll have Brent Cruz to his inside and his teammate Chandler Smith right behind him. Worked out a little better for
yes, that's +1. He didn't have
Lane.
to do anything for it.
Exactly,
right?
That worked out a little better. Now he's got to do something, though. He's got to hold him off and keep that outside.
He must think Chandler Smith's going to let him down to be able to keep that spot.
And even if he doesn't, you can take more liberties with a teammate in that moment than you can anybody else.
In this moment for Caden Honeycutt on the outside, how hard do you push to try to win the race versus just keep your position right now where you are to punch your ticket?
I'm hopeful right now Caden Honeycutt's crew chief is telling him, just finish where you are, you're okay. But he might not know that, and he might make a big risky move here on Corey Heim on this restart.
Caden Honeycutt and the 52 has never won a Truck Series race. Here we go, green flag in the air. It's NASCAR overtime. Corey Heim, clean restart. Nose to nose for Caden Honeycutt in the 1 of Brent Cruz. Then you have Lane Riggs there. Riggs out by 1 point right now.
They're going to be 3 wide, maybe.
White flag, next flag will end the race. 1 lap to go.
Oh, big contact. Lane Riggs is going to work Brent Cruz up the racetrack.
Lane Riggs is desperate right now. 1 point out. He has to do everything possible to pick that position out. Meanwhile, up front, Corey Heim sees his 11th win of the season. Corey Heim wins it at
And Riggs beat
Martinsville
Fred Cruz to the line.
Oh my
We're going to have a
goodness.
tie. And Caden Honeycutt, does he have the tiebreaker? Yes, he does.
Honeycutt
Holy
gets the
cow.
tiebreak. Honeycutt has punched his ticket to the championship 4 at Phoenix.
And the tiebreaker comes based on Caden Honeycutt finishing second at Martinsville. That's how critical that was for him to stay right there, and that's something Lane Riggs probably didn't know in that moment.
And how about Ty Majeski? 1 point up. He had a great restart that put him in position to transfer with a wounded truck. Great job by Ty Majeski.
Tyler Ankrum also, right? He looked like he was, in a terrible situation, terrible spot earlier on. Finds a way to get it done. By the way, Corey Heim wins again. I don't know how we unpack all this. We need to watch that thing 4 more times.
Yes.
It's very interesting, though. Lane Riggs has been the second best truck more times than anybody else this year to Corey Heim. He's not competing for a championship after winning 3 times this season.
That 1 point difference. You talk about the first stage, had the miss shift on the restart. 1 point was the difference for him.
And as heartbreaking as that is for Lane Riggs, we see Corey Heim capturing yet another checkered flag, going to carry all that momentum into Phoenix with him that he's had all season long. As heartbreaking as it is for Lane Riggs to be right there, Caden Honeycutt on the flip side of that has just got to be elated right now in that 52 truck.
Ty Majeski has to feel like he dodged a big bullet tonight. Wow. But he's still in the hunt for this thing. He's got a chance to go to Phoenix and win this championship. Hasn't had the season he's wanted, but he's still in the hunt.
Ty Majeski did just that last year, Brad. When the pressure was on him, he succeeded. He got the championship. Now he has a chance to defend it. Tyler Ankrum, that team.
Great drive.
Oh, no kidding. Problems on the pit stop. He did everything he needed to do. Moving on.
Way to go, brother.
Corey Heim, what a season. His 3rd playoffs. It'll be his 3rd opportunity to go for the championship, something he has not done. Maybe the only thing Corey Heim has not done.
He ran a great race too. Real quiet, smooth race.
Look at all the win stickers, Brad.
He'll take 1 more.
Well, let's hear from our winner. He's with Amanda.
Corey, there was a lot happening in this race, but it is no surprise in a historic season that you pick up yet another one. You told us in qualifying you wanted the momentum heading to Phoenix. Who wins the 2025 championship?
I don't want to jump to any conclusions yet, man. We got a big race next week, and like we talked about, I wanted the momentum going to Phoenix, keep all our guys with heads held high, and you know what they're working on going into Phoenix. And I feel like it was, definitely a rocky race there, getting behind our track position, but we wanted to capitalize on our day and make the most of it. So really didn't think we had the truck that we had in the spring, but once we got out front, it really showed that we had something to work with here. So just so grateful for Truck on Garage, Toyota, Safe Flight, Mobile One, Celsius, just everyone that's gotten me to this point so far, and got a big one next week to close it out. So it's going to be tough, but I'm confident we can do it.
Here with Lane Riggs, and pretty dejected. Lane, you tied Caden for points, but he won the tiebreaker. You did all you could do getting at the end.
Yeah, I was dejected even when I thought we were in at first. I just don't like racing that way, man. Like, I'm hearing got to get one, and everybody knows how it is. I mean, if I got the opportunity to get in for my team, I'm going to do it, even if I don't want to do it the way I do. So, I mean, I got there at the end. I mean, I hate I roughed up the one. Glad it still finished pretty good, but yeah, man, it all kind of started with that missed shift on that restart. I'm not really sure what happened. I've never missed a shift in a truck in my whole career, and we do have some new transmissions. I guess I'm just not quite used to them yet, so pretty upset about that. I think things could have been a lot different, but I mean, it all started at the Roval, getting turned around lap 1, go to Talladega, having all the issues we had. I said, definitely dejected. I would have been dejected if we were even in 4th. I just don't like it, man.
Lane Riggs, tough night.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, he's had a great season. He's been in position. He was, if I'm Corey Heim, I'm kind of happy about that, to be honest, because he was my top competitor to go to Phoenix and compete against me. So Lane's been really fast. That team's been really strong. just didn't come together for him. Like you said, a lot of different reasons why.
And crazy to think you finish third in this race and you get some good points, but you know, Lane referenced it that and you've said it a number of times, the shift that he missed, that could be ultimately the difference, and he was scratching his head right there, and wow. And
it goes back to the 21st place at the Roval as well. Let's hear from Ty Majeski.
Well, here with Ty Majeski, that was a pretty interesting race there. He ended up making it to our championship 4.
Certainly not the fashion we wanted to do it in, Todd. Felt like we missed a little bit as a 98 team. Joe and I work really closely together on, you know, what to put in these trucks week in and week out. So yeah, just missed it as a group tonight. But the biggest thing was persevering, qualifying well, getting stage points early, and being, you know, sort of on you know, in a good spot going into stage 3. And some of the other guys got desperate and paid for it. So just stayed the course. Got shoved in the wall off of 2. I thought I had a flat right front. Obviously a lot happened tonight, but proud of everybody with curb records, soda sense. Yeah, we're gonna go defend our try and defend our title.
There you go, Joe Shear, Ty Majeski going back to Phoenix.
Ty Majeski going to the championship 4 for the 3rd time, and Joe Shear, he's been here a few times. This will be his 6th time. Amanda.
Well, Tyler, you've been talking about how this round of the playoff was the haunted house, and you were hoping that there would be rainbows and sunshine as you exited. And boy, I get to tell you, that's going to find you in Phoenix. How did you survive this haunted house?
I'm going to church tomorrow. I haven't been in a couple years, but I'm freaking going to church tomorrow. Started that 3rd stage, came down to pit road. We had a top 5 truck, and we were just, you know, depending on the restart, whether we were there 4th, the 5th, the 6th. We had a pit gun break on the left front, and it was just like, oh no, like this is it. This is how the, you know, the dream ends, right? But no, it was a good effort by everyone. I could see it on the pylon. It was like +2 with like that 2nd or 3rd restart to go, and it was just like time to go. It's so tight in points. So I can't thank Laguna enough. Chevrolet, MHR, everybody.
It's real.
Yes, thank you.
Tyler Ankrum going to the championship 4 for the first time. So is Mark Hillman, his crew chief. Caden Honeycutt had his career best finish tonight, finished 2nd. He's going to the championship 4. Stuart Friesen must be beside himself after all this excitement.
What a job. All these teams that made it through. I mean, that was exactly what you want for a race, and it came down to good, hard racing at the end, Brad, and that's what I like the most. These guys raced it out.
A great night for the Craftsman Truck Series. Epic battles all night long. Martinsville always delivers. This was a terrific race. Glad you all joined us.
Great to have you. Brad Keselowski, Regan Smith, Todd Bodine, Amanda Busick, and everyone at Fox Sports. I'm Jamie Little. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you for the championship 4 in 1 week from now at 7:30 Eastern. So long from Martinsville.